Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Morning Caffeine with Pedano. I'm here with field recruiting specialist Jennifer Griffin. And as always, we'd like to start off by talking about Kirby recruiting. So I'll start by asking Jen, if you were a factory distributor today, why would you push Kirby Life recruiting in your office?
Well, I think it speaks volume for the fact that, when you bring a new person in and they get excited on one, of course, the benefit that they can get financially, but it also can benefit them financially, but it also speaks volume if a friend and another friend are coming in. Kind of goes into Leon Thomas, he has his sons, all three of them are factory distributors. So to me, I just feel like, the more people that know each other, it creates a better
camaraderie, retention.
Yeah, retention.
And you mentioned Leon Thomas, and he has a high percent of his dealers have always been Kirby Life recruits, whether he brings them in himself or his dealers bring them in. And Leon has been the number one factory distributor of all time with over 100,000 sales and purchases. And remember, when the Kirby Life recruit brings in the first recruit, they sell their first Kirby, they get $100.
That's right.
The big bonus is when they get to sell number 6, they're awarded a free Kirby that they can sell and keep all the money on. So if you didn't know that we have that program, your distributor has it, he loves it, he promotes it. Look at him right now, just ask him, right? With no further ado, we'll turn it over to the one and only John Pedano.
Yay.
Hey, thank you guys. We are Positive Kirby World. Good morning. Don't forget, wash your hands, social distance, wear your mask, right? And don't forget Kirby Life. Still bring in those Kirby Lifes because your distributor could win 12 free Kirbys that the company's giving away every month just by bringing in a Kirby Life recruit that sells 6 Kirbys, and they send that to marketing@kirby.com with a photo of that person getting their big check for that free Kirby and with their sponsor as well. So anyways, with that being said, I remember being a brand new dealer in Kirby a long time ago and being told this: programs don't fail, people do. What's the program if you're a brand new Kirby dealer in your first morning meeting today? I'm gonna break it down real simple. Show the machine 3 times a day. As a matter of fact, guess what? You can succeed. You don't even have to show it 3. You should, 3 every day. But if you did 6 days a week, and 3 days a week you showed it 3 times, and 3 days a week you showed it twice, you showed 15 times a week, you'd average a little over 60 presentations a month. If you showed it 60 times a month and you did the 5 musts, you pulled 100 dirt pads, you vacuumed a mattress, you did a comparison test and killed their vacuum, you showed them the MS3 and everything it could do, and you gave that customer a structured price along with your contest close, you will sell at least 15 Kirbys that first month, right? And then you go, well, that's a 1 out of 4 average. I was told it was going to be 1 out of 3. Look, you might be 1 out of 5 the first month, 1 out of 4 the second month, 1 out of 3 the third month. But I can tell you this, when you're showing the machine 15 times a week, 60 times a month, you're getting a lot of practice, aren't you? And when you get a lot of practice at something, guess what happens? You get good. And when you get good at presenting the Kirby, people want to buy it. You know what? I closed every time and never missed when the customer wanted to buy the Kirby, right? And when do they decide if they want to buy it? While you're showing it to them or at the end? While you're showing it to them is when that want's created, right? The best way I know of still to create that want and excitement is for you to be excited. So how do you stay excited? How do you stay excited no matter what's happening to you? I'll give you 3 quick things. Number 1, learn every day. When you attend your morning meeting, bring a pen and paper. See, when you hear something, you're probably going to forget it. But see, when you write something down, it comes here, then it comes here, because I got to write it, and then I see it, and then I can look at it again later. So guess what? There's a greater chance that I'm going to be able to add whatever that was into my demo, right? Number 2, help other people succeed. You know, when you help somebody else, you just get a good feeling about you, and it helps keep your attitude good because you feel good about what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, right? And number 3, put some money aside, save some money, because here's what happens. You don't want a long time to go by and look back and say, I'm no better off today than I was a year ago, right? So if you save even 10% of what you make, save so much per sale, put it aside. If you're a dealer, put it aside for your office. The reason you're a dealer, hopefully, if you've been around for a while, is to figure out and learn what you need to learn so you can open your own Kirby office, right? And become a distributor trainee. So put your money aside for that and just start saving, right? Once you have all your qualifying months, you got some money put aside, now it's time to open up. But anyways, I want to talk about the shampooer today. And here's one of the things I want you to ask that customer. And this is way before you get to this part in your demo. Folks, how do you shampoo your carpets now? How often do you do it? And how much money do you spend each time? When you get the answer to those 3 questions, now you're going to be able to build value over a period of 10, 15, or 20 years, right? So let's say, for example, how do you shampoo your rugs now? I rent the big machines at the grocery store. Okay, and how much do you usually spend each time after you buy all the solutions? $35. And how often do you do it? Twice a year. That's $70 a year. And all you really got to show for it is what? Soak carpet, soak padding, because John and Mary, let me ask you a question. There's 2 types of shampooers that money can buy. One, you see, like you're talking about at the grocery stores. Basically what they shoot water in, suck water out, you get a big bubble of mud in the back when you're done. The only problem with that is we believe it's the vacuum cleaner's job to remove the dirt. A shampooer's job is to clean and brighten the surface of your carpet and add a protective soil guard on top of that, right? So it doesn't get dirty as fast later. The other kind of shampooers you might have seen are the ones with circular brushes that go like this. If you have dirt in your rug, and now you add water and take a brush and scrub like this, where's that dirt going to go? Nowhere. It's just going to go farther down into the carpet, right? So actually what happens is the rug looks great the minute you're done because it hides all the dirt. Eventually the mud dries, cracks, we walk on it, it goes back into the air, and all of a sudden the carpet looks worse than it did or as bad a few weeks later. The first step in doing it with the Kirby is we believe it's the vacuum's job to get the dirt. So we vacuum and get as much out as we possibly can. The second thing is, this is the only in-home shampooer that I know of that uses a brush that goes this way. So it's going to lift the dirt out, throw it in the tray. Soil and grime are going to be in the back tray. We're going to be able to do an entire room with about a quart and a half of water. That tells you we're not soaking the carpet. See, if you soak the carpet, you soak the pad, what's under the pad? Your beautiful wood floors. When wood gets wet, what happens? It'll warp, dry rot, etc. When I finish shampooing your rug, if we could feel underneath, you would find it would be bone dry under there. So to give you an idea what I'm talking about, and here's the best part, John and Mary, the shampooer is so easy to use. There's no triggers. All we do is simply turn this dial to the on position. We line it up where we want to start. We turn this baby on and we're set to go. And yes, we are going to use the drive. So as easy as it was to push as a vacuum is exactly how easy it's going to be to push as a shampooer. Now, let's suppose you didn't feel like shampooing the whole house. All you might want to do is touch up a traffic pattern, a wear pattern, get out a spot or a spill. All you do is lay down the suds like I just did there. Now we turn this little dial to the off position. Now we go right back over it again. This is when the Kirby's going to do a lot of its scrubbing and cleaning. This is when it's also going to take and get a whole lot more of that dirty foam. Now, John and Mary, if you feel the rug immediately after shampooing, you'll find it's damp, but it's not soaked. Drying time, depending on the humidity, could take anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half. Now, let me ask you a question. You said earlier that you shampoo once a year. Let me ask you a crazy question. If I were to put a white towel down right here in the middle of this traffic pattern, how long would it take for that white towel to get dirty? About a day, right? Now imagine leaving that white towel down for 6 months or a year, and you peeled it up off your rug, threw it in the washing machine and washed it one time. Is it going to come clean? No. You're going to have to wash it over and over again, right? Well, guess what? Your carpet is getting every bit as dirty as that white towel would. The only difference is your carpet has color, so it hides the dirt better. That's why we recommend you should shampoo your carpets whenever it looks to you like it needs it. 2-3 times a year. One thing I know you're never going to do is drive to that grocery store and get that big, huge machine to shampoo just a traffic pattern or two, right or wrong. Let's face it, when we get that machine, what do we feel like we have to do? Shampoo every rug that we own. We move all the furniture out of the house. It looks like we're having a yard sale, right? Then we go ahead, shampoo every carpet, and by the time you get done, I've used one of those before in my past life, and guess what? I don't know about you, but my back was killing me because I felt like the harder I pushed down, the more dirt I was going to pick up. Imagine this. With the Kirby, we get a spill. We want to touch up the traffic pattern. You reach in the closet. You hook it up like I just did. You shampoo, 15 minutes, half hour. Later, you rinse it back off in the sink, throw it back in the box, put it back in the closet. In 45 minutes to an hour, the whole job is done, right? Let me ask you folks a question. If you did have our shampooer in your home, what's the first thing you'd probably go ahead and use it on? And let me ask you this. How often do you think you'd use our shampooer? And let's face it, folks, if you went ahead and did the math, even at $70 a year over 20 years' time, that's $1,400. That's if the cost of renting that machine never goes up, plus you don't own anything. Plus the inconvenience and the hassle of every time you wanted to shampoo. Wouldn't it be nice to have a Kirby in your closet? And just like I said, when you want to shampoo, boom, you get it done quick. Now, folks, it's easy to see how this one part of the Kirby literally will pay for the entire machine just in the money it's going to save you in shampooing costs. And look, we talked about renting. Imagine if your customer actually hired a professional. Now it's going to be several $100s a year, right? Might even be more than once a year. And all of a sudden now I spend $300 shampooing my carpets every year, becomes $3,000 in 10, 20, $6,000 in 20 years, right? Again, don't forget to build value. Last but certainly not least, after we shampoo, we finish shampooing, it's time to do what? That's right, it's time to disinfect. And again, John and Mary, I make my living showing the Kirby. The more people I show it to, the better my living is. The hardest part about my job is finding nice people like you to show the Kirby to. Hey, you'd really be helping me out if you could fill out these sheets with names and numbers. Not necessarily of people you think would buy one or people in the market. If you know them, put them down too. But people just like you. People that might possibly be interested in getting a free cleaning and, of course, a free disinfectant service. And if you could do that for me, what I'll do for you is I will disinfect your kitchen floor extra, the hallway floor. I'll get Billy's mattress, but offer the customer more service for names or to get you a presentation to go to right now. I happen to notice, do you know your neighbors? I noticed a car in the driveway over here, a car in the driveway over there. Do you think maybe you could get a hold of them and see if I could go over and shampoo and disinfect the carpet for them right now. If you could do that for me, what I'll do for you is, boom, make the offer. Okay? So look at, again, we've talked about it. EPA approved, safe. A little goes a long way. Just a quick little mist. Let me grab this chair one more time. Folks, that's the Kirby disinfectant service. And with that, let me turn it back to you guys.
I'll tell you what, that was absolutely incredible. I hope all of you are taking notes. And if you guys would just learn what John is teaching every Tuesday, your sales would go through the roof, right? What do you think, Jen?
Absolutely. John really just goes into showing everything and, developing a great demo to show everything.
Right, and if you notice, he disinfected at the end, right, which is what we should all do as we leave the demos. But you'll notice, John didn't have the nozzle on the gun. It's always a plus when John uses the disinfectant.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, disinfect. We want to have some fun. We are positive. We'll see you next week.